on, Mika.
Damn, I'm so sleepy. But I have to get going. I have an important meeting today. This may be the most important meeting of my career. I'm gonna give it my best! I'm Ken Katori. Early one morning, I was heading to the office when... What the hell? I ran toward the loud crashing sound. Holy smokes, seriously? A drunk driver? Oh man, a kid's been hit? Looks like the kid jumped out into the street and the car swerved to avoid him. Hey kid, you okay?
Oh, ouch! Ugh.
Just looks like some minor scrapes and cuts. Phew, that's a relief. What about the car? I ran over and inspected the car and the driver. Are you okay, mister? Can you hear me? Well, at least he's conscious. But his breathing's pretty weak, and he looks like he lost a lot of blood. Gotta get him away from the vehicle! This thing just might blow! I pulled the driver carefully out of the car and to a safe distance. I immediately called the police and ambulance and gave him as much care as I could. Alright, finally! Over here! Over here! Hurry! I explained the situation to the rescuers and rode to the hospital with the man. Ah, Mr. Katori. Thanks to your immediate care, I think you may have just saved his life, young man. He sustained some cuts and bruises and has a minor fracture in his left leg, but all in all, he's going to be fine. Nothing life-threatening. That's great. Didn't think reading manga like Blackjack would actually come in handy. I confirmed that the driver was okay and calmed down a bit after the ordeal, when... Oh crap! I have to go to work! It was a little after 9 a.m. I'd completely forgotten about that important meeting at work! I got this bad habit of focusing on one thing and everything else goes out the window. Bad habit or not, why now? Anyway, first things first. I should call Mr. Seko at the office right away! Hello? Hello? Mr. Seko?
Where the hell are you, Katori?
I'm really sorry. I got caught up in a traffic accident on my way to work. I couldn't call right away because I was giving first aid and had to explain things to the cops.
Huh? An accident? Come on, Katori. Can't you think of a better sham story?
Mr. Seko, it's not a sham, sir.
Anyway, forget it. You really screwed up the meeting today. Gonna have to let you go. You're fired.
Huh? What? Wait a second! Mr. Seko? Mr. Seko! No way this is happening. My mind went totally blank. All I did was save a guy and the kid, and this is what I get? I lose my freaking job over this? No way. What am I saying? Yeah, this can't be the end. I'll explain things again more thoroughly, and they'll believe me. Yeah. I was about to hurry to the office when I saw two guys rushing down the hall of the hospital. By the look of it, they definitely looked like hoodlums. They worriedly rushed toward the room where the driver was. Hey, Mr. Yasu! The boss's room is over here! Tetsu, how many times do I have to tell you to keep it down at the hospital? Sorry, Mr. Yasu! Who the hell are you, buddy? Huh? I'm the guy who came across the accident. Eh? So if it was you who did this to the boss, you sure got borals to be coming here, buddy! Hey, Tetsu, can't you see it's the guy who rescued the boss? Seriously? Man, hey buddy, I'm super sorry. Who are these guys? Wonder if they're like brothers or something. But the age difference makes it unlikely. Come on now, keep it down in the hospital. Mr. Katori, these people are what you call Yakuza. Huh? Yakuza? Yes, the Yakuza use our hospital on a regular basis. We've known Mr. Kyohoku and his gang for a very long time at this hospital. So, does that mean Mr. Kyohoku is a Yakuza boss? Oh boy, who the hell did I just rescue? Mr. Katori, thanks so much for helping the boss. Appreciate it, mister. This is just a token of our appreciation. Please accept it. First, you receive a gift from the Yakuza, then you become acquainted with them, then you become part of their underworld society, and finally you're an outcast from normal society. No, please, I can't accept that! Hey, wait a minute, mister! After hearing they were Yakuza, I lost all composure and just dashed out of the hospital as soon as I could. When I think about it now, I guess it was like getting candy at Halloween. Should have just accepted it. Here he goes. After that, I went directly to the office and tried to talk with Mr. Seko about reinstating my job, but...
Oh, too late. I already put the papers through and got the okay from above. Our profit margin was struggling recently, and we were just about to do some restructuring, so the higher-ups were actually kind of glad to get rid of you. Evidently, you're gonna get a tiny retirement pay package, so not all is lost, huh?
Mr. Seko had already talked to administration about me, and I was no longer an employee. Well, that confirmed the loss of my job, making me unemployed. I cleared out my desk and left the company. According to a coworker,
Hey man, I heard that Seko took on that project you were working on and made it his own. Evidently, he wasn't too happy about a former underling getting promoted to take over this project. It seems he worked behind your back to get you fired.
Huh? So you're saying I got fired for a personal grudge?
Just because you missed a meeting seems a bit strange to get fired over that. I objected, but as you know, people with power are the only ones that are heard. Mr. Seko is a bit of a jerk, but I hate to admit that he's pretty good at his job. Sorry. I should have done more.
You don't have to apologize. You should also be wary of Mr. Seko. Don't lose hope, buddy. Damn it. No time to be comforting an ex-coworker. I mean, I am unemployed at the moment. I immediately started looking for a new job. Seems you're going through a lot, Mr. Katori. But the economy isn't exactly going smoothly. But I'll get in touch with some of my buddies and introduce you to a good job. Seriously? That would be great! Thank you so much! I got some help from Mr. Yamashiro, who was a previous client. He introduced me to a new company and arranged it so that I was headhunted by another company. It's basically the same sort of company, but a lot smaller. But everyone working there was very nice, and they had enough confidence in me that they would often ask me to take on some very important projects. To be honest, I enjoyed working there. 3 years passed since that incident. Hey Katori, would you work on this project? Yes, sir. I would be more than happy to. Sure looks good in that suit. I was selected as the leader of a big project. This large-scale project required the use of considerable real estate, so I went around looking for some suitable property. Then I ran into that guy.
Hey, is that you, Katori? Man, it's been a while, buddy.
It was my previous boss, Mr. Seko. He had just concluded negotiations with the property owner when he approached me.
Wow, never thought I would run into you here of all places. What have you been up to?
Yeah, well, this and that, I suppose.
No different from me then. But to land a job in the same business at a lower-ranking minor corporation? Nice!
Low rank? Minor? This guy...
I was able to get promoted thanks to the project you started.
That project was 95% completed. By me! How could this jerk brag about it being his own? The gall!
Well, if you're looking for real estate around here, you better look elsewhere. You're wasting your time here, buddy. For your information, I'm just about to conclude an agreement here. Well, with you leading the project, negotiations will probably not get very far.
With Mr. Seko leading this project, there was no way I was going to get anywhere. Then, I heard a familiar-sounding voice coming from behind me. Huh? What the? Hey, it's you! Mr. Katori, buddy! Hey, boss, this is the guy who saved your life! Tetsu, how many friggin' times do I gotta keep telling you? Have a little respect for the boss!
Yeah, sorry about that.
So, you're the guy who saved my life. It was the Yakuza boss, Mr. Kyohoku! The guy I rescued from the car 3 years ago, and his gang members I met at the hospital! I'm sorry I wasn't able to properly thank you for saving my life. I wanted to visit, but figured you wouldn't exactly be comfortable. No, please, it was nothing. So, what have you been up to? I have some business around here. I explained the situation, and Mr. Kyohoku said, Okay, I see. our organization owns all this real estate. I owe you my life, so I want to negotiate the real estate with your company. I can't lease it for free, but what do you say to 1/10 the cost, huh? What? Are you serious? What? That sure was a 180. My god, I was suddenly offered a chance to get this property at a super reduced price. But Mr. Secco would have none of it.
Wait just 1 second! I brought this to you first!
Who the hell are you?
I'm the one who rescued you 3 years ago. When Katori ran into that accident, well, he called me at the time, and I immediately made the call to the ambulance and police, basically saving your life. Katori was all panicky and probably doesn't remember any of it, so I instructed the rescuers.
Secco started spewing lie after lie about the incident. I couldn't believe the dirty tricks he was using, so I decided right then and there to play a little trick on him. So, it was you, Mr. Secco. You were the one who called the authorities and made all the arrangements to save his life?
Yep, you got that right.
Okay then. Would you please explain the situation at the time?
Well, first off, I was going to,
What was the first thing you did for Mr. Kyohoku?
Well, first off, since the car ran into him, I had them verify that he was conscious and was breathing properly. And, if he was bleeding or not.
I was the driver. A kid jumped out in front and I swerved to avoid him and smashed into the telephone pole.
Huh?
Did you just lie to me, mister?
No, I was just, not.
I really hate liars. Come to think of it, the name's Secco. I heard that name before. I hear this Secco guy's been going around the organization-controlled areas and doing business using dirty tricks. Good timing. I wanted to hear about this in more detail.
I was only...
Tetsu, Yasu, show our guest to the office, would ya? Those big, burly guys took Mr. Secco away. To where? I have no idea. So, what do you say? Want to put together an agreement? I had this great opportunity right in my grasp, but I wasn't able to give him an answer right away. If I sign an agreement, this project would probably be successful, but... Well, they say what goes around comes around, but I wasn't sure that really applied to business. No, sir, it sure is an inviting proposal, but I'm gonna pass on it. I want to be successful on my own merits, by working hard and doing things the right way. Yeah, I get it. Doing business with the likes of us can be a little risky. No, sir, it's not that. Please, don't get me wrong. Don't worry about it. I get it, kid. But you should do the negotiations. Hey, Seijima, talk to him and lay down the options, and then we can consider if you want to move forward with the agreement. Strictly business. Strictly business, my friend. You got it, sir! Thank you so much, Mr. Kyohoku. It's unusual to see someone in this day and age who would go about business just on emotions and not worry about the consequences of the future. It's a dog-eat-dog world. But for you, kid, I think there are good opportunities awaiting you. So until then, hope things work out for you. Take care, kid. Isn't that a lollipop? With that, Mr. Kyohoku left. With his final words, I gained courage and confidence and decided to sign the agreement after looking over the details. Okay, so let's conclude this agreement as stipulated here. Thank you. I look forward to your business. The contract was fair and without complications, and eventually, the project concluded successfully.
Hey, I heard that Secco was in trouble. Seems the project he headed, the clients are now demanding compensation for some breach of contract. The higher-ups are furious. I hear he's going to be transferred next week. Well, I guess what goes around comes around.
Yeah? Hey man, thanks. I wonder if Mr. Kyohoku and his men had anything to do with it. Made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Do you know something I don't? The boss was saying Secco kept mentioning your name.
Yeah, what's that about? I was able to get a promotion after that big project, and I'm really looking forward to taking on new and more interesting projects. To think the scary Yakuza, Mr. Kyohoku, was sucking on a lollipop this whole time seems like the highlight of this little story.